Day 41 today of the travel vlog, and it's our last day talking about Kuala Lumpur. And today's all about hotels and apartments. Debbie's been busy checking stuff out, and
got my notes.
It's going to be quite interesting to find out the cost of things and a little bit about the areas.
It is. So please bear with me because I am the reader of the pair.
yeah. I don't do much reading. I find it very difficult as I'm dyslexic. So please forgive me. It's not that I'm passing the buck over to Debbie all the time. Although it seems that way.
No, it's all good. But there's quite a lot of detail and lots of talking about money costs here, obviously. So we do go into quite a bit of detail. So please bear with us, especially if you're interested in going to Kuala Lumpur and spending any extended length of time there. Because if you've been watching our daily vlogs, you'll know that we are planning a 12-month trip to Southeast Asia. And our first destination is Kuala Lumpur. And we've allowed 1 month to spend there to really get to know the area. So we had a discussion, didn't we? And how did we decide to do it? What did we think was going to be best for us?
Well, if I remember the discussion, being a man, I've got to think about this one because you know what we're like, us guys. We go, yeah. And but I believe it was a hotel and then go and find some accommodation for SlowTravel, long-term accommodation.
Big tick for Patrick there. Yes.
Sure, he made it.
So that's what we've decided. We've decided to spend the first week in a hotel and then from there look for accommodation for the extended 3 weeks. Probably somewhere with facilities that are going to be really important and useful to us, like a kitchen, washing machine, that kind of thing. So that's our thinking anyway. If you think this is a wrong idea or there's a better way of doing it, please pop something in the comments because we are still at the planning stages and we can be flexible and we're always grateful to hear any tips from you. So please do feel free to have pop something in the comments.
So how many weeks is it now until we do go?
Oh, I don't know. Seven?
6 to 7
6 to 7 weeks.
6 to 7 weeks. That's just flown by. I mean, it's mad.
This prep period has totally flown by. So, yeah.
It's lovely being able to share it with you. Obviously, if you want to carry on sharing our experience, our planning, and more importantly, our trip, which is coming up within the 6 to 7 weeks, do subscribe and come along on the journey because we'd love you to come along with us.
Yes, please do. So let's get to it. So the hotel for the first 7 days. So just giving costs initially. So if you're in the budget range, 2 to 3 star hotels cost around £10 to £40 per night.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable.
It's very reasonable, but some can be as low as £7 a night.
Well, we might just stay in a hotel for the month.
Well, I mean, if we're really loving it there and it's got everything we need, maybe we will. Yeah. Who knows? Yep. Mid-range and luxury hotels, so that's 4 stars and 5 stars. 4 stars will average between £60 to £80 a night.
Yeah.
And 5 stars will be 85 to 102.
Which is amazing, isn't it? For that money. You know, coming from the West, I mean, that is just amazing that you can get a 5-star hotel anywhere between £85 and £102 a night.
Yeah.
I don't think that would happen in the UK, would it?
Definitely not. 3 times that price, maybe more.
Yeah.
So it's given an example. A 7-night stay at a decent 4-star hotel would be around £490.
Cool. So when you think about it, you could stay in a decent hotel, 4-star hotel, for £500 a week. Yeah. And a lot of places in the UK now, if you're going for a decent place, might cost you that anyway. And then there's the bills on top and all the rest of it. So that is amazing.
It is. It is. I'm so excited. So we move on to apartment hunting for the following 3 weeks. So typical costs per month, this is for rentals in Kuala Lumpur. A 1-bedroom city centre apartment will be between 545 to 820 British pounds. Now that surprised me.
So
thought
that's a month, is
that's
it?
a month.
See, that's still brilliant.
You'd pay that for a week in a hotel, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. And I mean, when we talk, we're from the south of England, which is a lot dearer for rental and house prices. So um, please bear with us when we're shocked at some of these prices,
Yes.
because it is amazing for us, because you don't get much from where we live at the moment for that money.
No. You can get a 2-bedroom in an expat area, and that would be between £730 and £1,095.
Okay.
But there are more affordable options, so even cheaper, in the suburbs, and they range between £455 and £640 per month.
Suburbs, here we come.
So this is comparing short-term versus long-term. Many agents focus on a minimum of 1-year leases.
Yes.
So for a 3-week stay, Airbnb or service apartments or co-living spaces may be easier. So I don't think agents
Well, I have
will be able to help us.
listened to guys online, and you can negotiate a 6-month or a 3-month lease with some of these people, depend on how busy they are. So
Yeah,
So
and
don't be,
depends how long you want to stay as well.
Yeah,
For us, obviously, it's not going to
don't
be.
forget, bartering is one of the best tools on the world in the planet. Where you just don't be, especially as Brits, don't be embarrassed by lowballing, because at the end of the day, you might get it, and you might get it cheap.
You've got nothing to lose.
You've got nothing to lose, and it's quite strange. Us Brits, we're embarrassed to do it. When you speak to any investor or anyone who gets out there and makes a couple of quid by wheeling and dealing, they're bartering all day long, and it works. It just works. You imagine if it was your apartment and you were waiting for someone to take on a year's lease, but they're not ready for a month or two. Oh, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? That you could do.
Yeah.
You could get in there in the meantime.
But this is a bit I really loved. Some hotels are open to negotiating monthly rates.
Which makes sense. I mean, we had a hotel for a little while, and we would have done. We would have definitely, because the voids are massive, and it's a lot easier to look after a room and everything if it's on a monthly than it is on a daily. That's why a lot of hotels will only do a 2 or 3 night stay.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Because of these reasons.
Yeah. So we move on to working with agents. So if we were going to stay longer or looking at a...
Oh, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. I've got hay fever again.
You probably see that at the moment in all of our videos.
Oh.
Patrick's, suffering with his hay fever. So working with agents, this is a bit of a step-by-step guide if you did want a bit of a longer lease. So book your hotel for the first week, as we're going to do. After arrival, reach out to 2 to 3 reputable local agents. Use platforms like iProperty, Property Guru, and Speed Home, and ask for their REN, which is their registered estate agent number.
See, this is a good idea, I think, to turn up to a place and do a couple of days or a week in a hotel, a nice hotel in a nice area, so you feel safe and secure, and you find your feet in a new area before you do go on the slow travel route, which is apartments and villas and so on and so forth. And I think it's a very wise way of doing it, because you can book Airbnb. I keep saying Airbnb. I don't mean them as a company, but you know the concept that I'm talking about. You can book an apartment or a villa through these agents, and we've heard of it, and we've had it ourselves, where you turn up and it either isn't what it's supposed to be, i.e. there was a con, or you've turned up and it's horrendous. Yeah. So doing it this way, you get a chance to have a look at the facilities before you take it on for a month or two, and at the same time you're less likely to be scammed.
Well, we're coming on to all of that in a second,
right,
I think,
okay.
in these notes. So it's saying a lot of the agents there use WhatsApp. It's quite common.
Well, that's
And
handy.
they would expect you to WhatsApp them with your desired districts, the number of bedrooms, and your budget, etc. And it says to arrange in-person viewings and never pay deposits without seeing the place first.
Exactly, and that makes so much sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's difficult if you've got to travel a long way, but it's best to be safe. What's the word I'm looking for?
Better to be safe than sorry.
Safe than sorry.
I think that's
Yeah.
what you were looking for. Obviously, negotiate the rent. So, they expect you to negotiate. Don't just take that's the price and that's it. The deposit is typically 2.5 to 3 months rent.
Wow.
So if you were staying for a longer term, that's a big deposit.
That's massive.
Much bigger than the UK.
Yeah, that's massive. And I mean, it makes sense, especially with holiday makers, because you could leave at any time for the commitment. And that's probably why they do it. So you don't jump away from it. But if that's the case, I mean, especially for someone like us on SlowTravel, we'd probably only stay somewhere maximum 3 months. So we would just say, okay, we'll pay the rent up front.
But it's good to know that they do expect 2.5 to 3 months rent.
Yeah.
As a deposit.
Yeah.
And then agent fees for contract stamping are relatively small, and the official stamp fee is minimal.
So basically, the contract, I presume that's a bit like the leases in the UK.
Agreement. It's the agreement.
The lease agreement.
Yeah.
So someone needs to stamp it. Oh, right.
So once agreed, the agent and landlord handle the paperwork. You pay your deposit, your first month's rent, and the stamping fee.
Yeah. So the stamping fee, obviously, they would have to be a registered company to have a stamp.
Yes.
And that's probably why they do it.
Yes. So that's dealing with the agents. Now the recommended districts. So the first one is Bukit Bintang. Now this is Kuala Lumpur's entertainment and shopping core. It's packed with malls, hawker food stalls, bars and nightlife.
Happy days.
So it depends what kind of vibe you're looking for, doesn't it? The accommodation cost is high. City centre luxury, mid-range and boutique options. Who it suits? First-time visitors who want nightlife and everything within walking distance, so restaurants and transport, that kind of thing.
Which makes sense to like we said, you land somewhere and you want to catch your breath and you want to have a look around in a safe environment.
Yes, and if you wanted to go to a hotel in this area, if we wanted to for the first week, it's given us 2 of the favourites apparently.
Right, okay.
Hotel 1 is the Banyan Tree, Kuala Lumpur.
Mm-hmm.
And why you should choose it is ultra luxury, sleek design, award-winning spa, rooftop bar. It's linked to the Pavilion Mall and it's got panoramic city views. It's ideal for those wanting a premium stay right in the tourist buzz.
Cool.
And the hotel number 2 is the JW Marriott, Kuala Lumpur. And that is a spacious 491 rooms, multiple dining venues, rooftop pool adjacent to the pavilion. And that is ideal for comfort-seeking travellers wanting consistent quality in a central location.
Probably be the Marriott out of the 2 for me.
I like the sound of them both, to be fair. So another area is the KLCC, the Kuala Lumpur City Centre. It's literally called KLCC.
Mm-hmm.
And the vibe there is iconic skyline, so it's near the Petronas Towers.
Right, okay.
Upscale condos and commercial high-rises, luxury shopping, and there's green spaces.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that, didn't we? With the green spaces, there's a
We did, with the rainforest in the middle of the city.
Yes.
So this is obviously near to there. And the accommodation cost is very high there. So this is obviously the most expensive.
Right, okay.
It's best for professionals who want easy transit access and heart of city living.
And what you got to remember, it's just for the first week or the first couple of days.
I don't think we'd need to go there particularly.
Yeah, okay.
It does give us a couple of hotels there though. So the first is the EQ Hotel, the Golden Triangle, and that's a modern 5-star luxury wellness sanctuary with infinity pool, multiple eateries, sustainability focus. Obviously, I'm guessing because it's near the KLCC park.
Yeah.
And that's ideal for wellness-oriented travellers and those wanting skyline views of the Petronas Towers. So I'm guessing it's right near the Petronas Towers.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see how much that is.
Yeah.
Because their idea of really expensive and our idea might be.
Well,
two
we've
different things.
already found out the prices for the 5 stars, haven't we?
Yes.
Which was just over £100.
Yeah.
a
So
night.
to me, for that luxury to be in the heart of it, near the towers, all the rest of it,
And the park.
and the parks, it's all on your doorstep, it's walking distance. To me, that's kind of wow factor. That is rather.
So you like the idea of that?
I like
do
the
you?
idea of that, and the reason I like the idea of that is because I don't have to find my way round. I don't have to work out the public transport. I don't have to find out, right, how do I haul a cab here? How do I get around?
Yeah.
You know, for the first week, just to catch my breath and see what's going on.
Yeah, so I suppose.
And get used to the area, the people. That's my idea of slow travel, because it's all about comfort with me. It's all about turning up and having time to catch your breath and relax in a new area. Because I'm one of these people, I like to get my bearings.
Yeah.
So that really interests me, that one.
Yeah. So the second recommendation for hotels there is the Four Seasons Hotel, Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
And this is located right beside the KLCC park. It's got panoramic tower views, luxury spa, infinity pool, club lounge access, excellent value in a central position.
Okay.
Ideal for exquisite luxury with excellent city and park amenities. Again, that sounds lovely, doesn't it?
It does. And especially since you're probably going to go off to an apartment for 3 weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
So if you spread the budget over the full month.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay, so the next area is Bangsar.
Bangsar.
And this is a trendy bohemian neighbourhood with cafes, bars, fine dining and a community vibe. The accommodation costs are moderate to high, offering condos and landed properties.
Oh, right.
Best for couples, expats looking for lifestyle. So if you were staying there for longer, I would imagine this would be a better place.
Yes.
And local culture with good transit links.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe if we were staying there for 6 months or something.
Yeah. You'd go more into that.
Yeah, possibly. So the hotels recommended there is Alila Bangsar, which is a sleek, design-forward 5-star property. It's one of the most talked about hotels in Bangsar. It offers a serene, minimalist atmosphere with clean lines, Japanese-inspired aesthetics, and top-tier service.
I mean, it sounds lovely, doesn't it?
It's got an infinity pool with panoramic views, iced cocktails, and a laid-back vibe. See, they've all sounded lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the thing.
How are we going to choose?
I don't know. So if you could recommend one, I'd really, really appreciate it. Because that is going to be a struggle, isn't it?
As you can see.
Especially if they're realistically priced.
Yeah.
I mean, they all sound amazing. So do drop something in the comments below, because I need your help. I do need your help on those.
Yeah, we do, definitely. Because as you can tell, we're torn already.
Yes.
And we haven't finished yet. So the hotel number 2 in Bangsar is the Holiday Inn. And that is for solid value and convenience. This is a 4-star property.
Yeah.
It's a reliable brand, free Wi-Fi. I would imagine there'd be free Wi-Fi in most of them, wouldn't there?
I would have thought so.
Yeah, outdoor pool and breakfast at a surcharge. Yeah, that doesn't sound so great to me, that one.
But Holiday Inn, again, if
you're getting.
If it's the what's the word? Well, it's global. Well, if it's the global chain, Holiday Inn's always good. Always quite good quality. You're not getting luxury, but they're usually quite good luxury quality, value for money.
Yes, and there's only 2 other areas that's been mentioned, and I think these are probably more for long stays. It's Mont Kiara and Sri Hartamas, and that is a suburban expat enclave. It's got international schools, gated condos, and expat community events.
Yeah.
And the accommodation cost is high there because it's obviously very popular.
Well, it's made for us, isn't it? It's made for foreigners, basically, expats.
Yeah. 2-bedroom condos typically are an RM of 2,500 to 4,500 a month. It didn't give me the conversion in British pounds, so apologies there.
We'll have to find that out.
But it is high, and it's best for families or anyone seeking spacious, community-oriented living. Therefore, like I said, if you're staying longer. And the last place is Desert Park City. and that is green, family-friendly suburb again, with parks, clubs, and quieter surroundings. The accommodation costs there are moderate to high, and it's best for longer stays where you want more space and a local feel.
Yeah, so that sounds good. And to be honest, 2,500 to 4,500 in, is it Rumi? I can't remember what the Malaysian currency is. It's probably not that much, Deb.
No, I doubt it is.
It's just that we see thousands and we think it's the same as our money.
So we've just got a little table now of a budget overview, just for clarity. So 7 nights in the hotel, if it was 4-star, is probably going to cost us around £490.
Cool. When you think that could be a night in London?
Yeah. So a 1-bed apartment for the other 3 weeks in the city could be between £410 and £820.
Yeah.
A 3-week 2-bed in an expat community could be between £730 and £1,000.
Yeah.
And a 2-bed apartment for 3 weeks
in
the suburbs is cheaper, £455 to £640.
Oh, a lot cheaper.
Yes, because you're not in the centre, I suppose, and you're not like everything isn't on your doorstep. You'd have to travel to go into the city.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, the deposit is 2.5 months rent.
See, that sounds very reasonable to me. I don't know about you. That sounds, if you wanted to stay there for a long period of time, I personally would go right into the centre for the hotel stay, see what that's all about, and then move out to the suburbs.
Oh, so you wouldn't want to stay in the centre then?
Not after the
okay.
Because you get used to the train links and all the rest of it. The transportation, and you want to be in the middle of it all the time. It's like I wouldn't want to be in the middle of Knightsbridge or Piccadilly or whatever in London.
Yes, good point.
For 3 months.
Yeah.
It'd be okay for a week. Have a look round. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm with you there actually for the.
But that's the reason. That's the reasoning behind it. For me.
Yeah. So practical tips now. Start viewings 2 weeks before your lease begins. So that's going to be hard for us because we're only going to have a week there. But I think this is for longer term, obviously.
Yeah.
Beware of scam listings, as Patrick touched on earlier.
Yeah.
You could come across fake photos, ghost listings.
And they happen everywhere, don't they?
Yeah, and bait tactics. Yeah. So always pay into a landlord's verified bank account and avoid WhatsApp-only requests. Clarify what the utilities and cleaning responsibilities are. So cleaning, aircon, electricity, internet may be your responsibility on top of your cost.
Yeah.
So check, always check.
So it might seem cheaper, but is it cheaper?
Yeah, and it's recommending use Facebook expat groups. So there's one called KL Expat for referrals and community advice.
See, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I think that's something that is very beneficial to most people. If they get on these groups and ask people who've been there before. And that's probably one of the reasons you're following us is because you want to see the journey from start to finish, and you want to see it firsthand without all the pretend and the glitz, and you want to see it
without any AI. There's no AI on our channel.
Or, see it as it is. So do subscribe and come along on the journey with us.
Yeah, this is our raw, true experience of this massive adventure we're about to go on. So, and all the prep leading up to it. So thanks for being with us. Please stick with us. If you haven't yet already, subscribe so you don't miss anything. And we will chat again tomorrow.
Yes, and don't forget to have a little flutter. 50 pence. You could win £10,000.
Not 10.
Oh, 1,000. 10,000. No, 1,000.
Maybe we could do a 10.
That's me getting excited.
Yeah. Maybe in time we'll be able to do a 10,000 prize, but at the moment it's 1,000. So
Yeah. So Debbie has to keep an eye on me.
Well, it's a good job I noticed. Otherwise, you guys would be.
All for 50p.
But anyway, I wouldn't mind 50p for £1,000 back. So You never know. You could be the lucky one. So have a look in the comments because the link will be down there. For now, take care.
Take care. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.